Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another rendition of Age of Empires 3 Thursdays. Now, I've already made some improvements from last week, and before I elaborate on those, let's introduce our two players for this week's matchup. In the northeast of the map, by the way, we are on the map Central Asia. Cool map. A bit arid, but plenty of hunts and plenty of mines. Even got a nice little lake for fishing and a 3 trading post route. But as I was saying, in the northeast of the map, playing as Mexico, we have Toast, which is probably one of the best ELO usernames of all time. And in the southwest of the map, playing as the Russians, we have a returning player, Mr. Shake 2020. If you recall last week, Shake played a 38-minute game in which he basically won in the first 9 minutes and then spent the next 29 minutes chasing his opponent around the map. I have not looked at this week's game. That is another thing I have done differently so as not to spoil the action for any of you and hopefully make our reactions a bit more organic. I did go in like maybe 5 minutes so that I could see everything was running smoothly, but beyond that, no spoilers. So anyway, Toast is building a trading post in the top right of the map. He is taking on these two black bears to get what looks like a 75 coin treasure, but here comes Shake. Possible treasure contention? No. He's going to go for 80 wood of his own, guarded by 2 lions. Meanwhile, it looks like Toast is shipping a hacienda wagon and 2 settlers. Now, it'll be interesting to see where Toast decides to put this hacienda wagon. Mexico can certainly pull off some pretty aggressive builds, but so can Russia. And both of them can also do some pretty unique strategies. So I think it's kind of an interesting matchup. Not your very traditional civilizations going at it today, but the hacienda, it's going to the middle of the map. It looks like it might be put right in between these 2 creeks here. No, going on the creek. Okay, interesting. Very close to the Russian base. So maybe setting up for an aggressive build, or maybe just trying to seize some map control. He's going to get a second shipment, going to send independence movements, which makes all of his revolutions and returns a bit faster. Going to Shake, looks like he sent, yes, distributism, which is the wood trickle card that almost every Russian player sends at the start of every match. Also going to pick up 60 coin along with the 80 wood. Very nice from him. Has already clicked in his age up with 14 villagers. Very, very nice and quite standard for Russia. Meanwhile, Toast going up with 15 villagers, and it looks like both of them are almost dead even in age up time. Yeah, both of them nearing about halfway through their age up. So, wow. A very, very close age 1, although based on the treasures, I think Shake might have gotten better treasures. It has to be said. But while these guys are aging up, just a couple of things we are doing differently from last week. We did enable ludicrous zoom so that we can see more of the action and we're not looking at the whole game like this. Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but still, I think it will lead to a more pleasurable viewing experience. We also have covered up the game timer so as not to spoil how long the match is and hopefully make the action just that much more suspenseful. So, also doing some things to tweak audio and video quality, though if there are any measures I can take to make it better, please don't be afraid to post them in the comments below. And perfect timing, both players have just entered the commerce age. A military wagon going down for Toast. Very, very smooth transition. You could say it was almost as smooth as butter. First Toast pun completed. And Shake going to be sending 13 Strele with the 5 musketeers. Looks like he's opting not to send Cossacks, but based on the units that Mexico can send in the Second Age, probably a good idea. So looks like he's going to put up 2 defensive blockhouses here, not going for anything aggressive. Perhaps saw the hacienda while he was out here gathering, herding, and getting treasures. Making 5 more musketeers. This is getting sieged. Very nice damage being put down by Antonio Lopez and his padre, though I think they're going to have to split town if they don't want to get shot here. And no! I think they're going to die for the cause. Well, yeah, Antonio is. The padre's going to get away. Meanwhile, in Toast Space, he's putting up 3 frontier outposts, and it looks like that was that his first card? Was it? No. Oh my goodness, what happened? Did he revolt? Oh my gosh, he revolted, that's why. Okay, so it looks like, can you tell I don't play Mexico? It looks like Toast has revolted and shipped 3 frontier outposts while also putting forward an aggressive barracks and hacienda. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. I'm not gonna lie. Following up with 700 wood, that makes a little more sense to me. But, I mean, look at this Russian army. He's got 15 musks, 13 strelae, 5 Cossacks going on a raid. I don't know if Mexico's gonna be able to prevent either of these buildings from going down. Even gonna lose a Ville here to the Cossack raids. Now, granted, those frontier outposts are going to keep the Cossacks at bay. That is a lot of damage, especially if you add in the town center. But gonna lose a hacienda for basically free. So, not ideal for Toast. You could almost say he's going from the frying pan into the toaster. Toast pun number 2 complete, and gonna lose his padre as well. It was only a matter of time. These Cossacks doing a very nice job. They're kind of skimming around the frontier outposts and getting at these villes back here. Not a great job by Toast getting in those initial hunts. You can see they've ventured quite a ways out from the safety of his town center, cutting down on his efficiency and such. Not brilliant herding from Sheikh either, though he is not the one with cavalry raiding his base, so I guess he has a little more slack. Meanwhile, it looks like Sheikh is sending 700 coin, possibly going to follow up this pressure with an age up. Meanwhile, looks like Toast is returning and ending his revolt. But, yeah, I don't know. I definitely like the Russian player's position. He has gotten some free takes as far as sieging those 2 buildings down. He's got some decent raiding in with his Cossacks, all while losing almost no units. I think he lost 1 cavalry while raiding, and that's about it. Meanwhile, Mexico has no military building, has no units out on the map. Is he going for an FI? He's gathering a lot of wood. I think he's going for an FI. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna predict it now. I think he's going fast industrial. Meanwhile, getting some market upgrades. That's very, 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 very good. I can't talk. You know what that means? It's time for coffee. Oh, that's better. Sheikh getting his upgrades as well and moving to the Fortress Age, while Toast has gone industrial. Oh, don't call me a prophet, but that was pretty good. Although I'm assuming most of you could have probably predicted that way earlier than I did. Gonna have to get something out quick though, because he is now losing his 1 trading post in the corner of the map. Probably not as important now as it was at the beginning of the game. And he is sending the 9 soldados. Don't know if I'm saying that right. And the Falconet arriving very quickly. What else is coming behind? Along with the 2 heavy cannons. Ladies and gentlemen, we could be seeing colonial Russia take on industrial Mexico. The ultimate quantity versus quality challenge. But I think he's just going to give up this trading post. Not a lot he can do to save it there. And meanwhile, what is Sheikh doing? Sheikh is making more muskets, putting down a dock, possibly gonna invest in some fishing economy here, getting his market upgrades, not panicking. You can see he's not pumping out just a billion units, putting all of his resources into military. Looks like he's also taking time to invest in his economy, even sending, was that a town center wagon? Yeah, even sending a town center wagon. Interesting. Meanwhile, the 2 heavy cannons have been produced, along with the falconet and the 10 soldados, the very heavy infantry. This could be the execution bell for the Russian base, because if all he's got to defend it are rusketeers and strele, that is not going to go over well. He does have these 4 Cossacks. Are they going to get found? Let's watch. Let's watch from Toast's angle here. The mighty but small Mexican army making their way across the Central Asian plains. They're going to see these 4 Cossacks. They're now in view. The enemy is in sight. Unfurl the cannons, lads. Fire! And resorting to wild overkill. But on the bright side, Sheikh is now aware of the presence of all that artillery. And it looks like he is responding with an artillery foundry, also sending more gold to his home city. Are we going to see culverins? That's the only thing he could be making, right? Yes, a culverin is in production. Although he is going to be losing quite a bit of infrastructure because in come the insurgentes. 33, they are weak, but they do have numbers and they do have quite a substantial siege attack. In come the rusketeers, now veteran rusketeers, along with the strele. No cavalry to combat these cannons, and the culverins are still not out of the foundry. Ladies and gentlemen, is Sheikh going to produce these culvs in time to save his town? The town center is now being sieged. It is at 3,000 HP, 2,500 HP. Oh my God, it's going down so quickly, but out come the 3 culvs. Down goes the falconet. The 2 cannons are being targeted. The soldados are in melee combat. The villagers mopping up a lot of this fire. Down goes 1 heavy cannon, and down goes the other. Yes! Oh my goodness, excuse my shrieky voice. I'm still getting over my cold, but that was incredible. What a defense by Sheikh, producing the 3 culverins by sending the gold and focusing on wood, meanwhile using the ruskets and the strele to distract his infantry. And Toast not even attempting to retreat his cannons until the very end, reacting quite slowly. Perhaps he could have saved at least 1, maybe even both of those heavy cannons if he had been a little bit speedier on the retreat. But the Russian base is safe. It did lose some infrastructure, although Sheikh is at 35 vills now, and he's overtaken Toast, who is only at 31. He's got the 2nd town center up. He's got the fishing economy. This is looking very strong for Sheikh. But Toast is not out of this game. He's still got lots of infrastructure. He's still in the 4th age. He is still an age ahead. He's only down 4 vills. But if he allows Russia to keep snowballing, keep building this economy, late game Russia is an absolute powerhouse. Out come, he's got 15 lancers, he's got his militia, and 5 soldados left. Now, if these lancers are able to charge into this mass of pretty weak infantry and cannons, that could be a game changer. However, there are quite a few ruskets, and despite their inferior quality to, say, British or French musketeers, 30 ruskets is still nothing to trifle with. Along with 13 on the way, plus another 5 out of the blockhouse, he might get out enough of this weaker anti-cav to deal with these very heavy lancers, although Toast has halted his charge in favor of perhaps waiting for reinforcements. 5 more soldados coming down the map, but the Russian army is on the move. Let's see what happens when he visualizes this Mexican force. The two armies, it looks like they're about to just run into each other. Neither player has, no, it looks like Toast is retreating. Is he? I don't know. In go the Lancers, or the Guerrachista, whatever they're called, the Lancers. And they are doing a number on the Ruskets, but the Ruskets, there's so many of them that they might just be able to hold out. The cannons have not been attacked yet, and they are doing a number on these Soldados, especially the two Falconets. But the three Culvs also putting in a minimal amount of damage. Most of the Ruskets are gonna go down, but that was a brilliant trade for Shake, and this is why late game Russia is so powerful. Their units are incredibly cost effective, and in mass, pretty effective. Now, at this point, who would you rather be? Well, I would much rather be Shake. Even with the extra age, being at only 34 villagers to Shake's 57 means that Toast is going to have a very difficult time mustering any sort of force. And yes, his units might be better. He might have some powerful shipments left, but that does not mean he can overpower a superior economy and a superior number of military units from the Russian player. Outcome War Chinakos. I don't know if I'm saying any of these Mexican units correctly. Please, in the comments, correct me if I'm saying them poorly. But the Soldados are going to come out. They're going to make mincemeat of these Ruskets. Might even get some shots on the Culvs, but the Falconets are unlimbering, and the cavalry gonna be too late to reinforce. Maybe if the Soldados and the cavalry had attacked at the same time, they would have achieved a lot more success. They might knock out one of the Falconets here. Yes, they are gonna get one down, but one is still shooting in the midst of all this infantry, and that's the game. Ladies and gentlemen, the mighty Toast, he has been burnt. He is extra crispy, and the Toast puns are now being unleashed. The game is over. Shake, for the second week in a row, pulling out a victory. Not a perfectly played game from either player, but that hold with the three culverins against the two heavy cannons and the Falconet and the Soldados, I think that was really when the tables officially turned, because the thing I like about Shake's build here was that when you see your opponent reaching industrial and fast fortressing, FIing, whatever, the tendency from a lot of newer players, especially myself, can be to just mass up military units because you're scared of what might be coming. But Shake did not do that. He continued building military while also investing in his economy. And for that reason, when he held the push, he had a superior economy to back up his countercharge. So, oh, excuse me. I'm still getting over my cold. But that is going to be the game, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you have a replay that you would like to send in and have casted for this series, please send it to the email attached to this YouTube channel, and I would love to take a look at it and include it in the next AOE3 Thursday. But until then, have a wonderful week, everyone. See you later.